All right, special edition of Studyball. Sent a tweet out earlier in the week just about watching the Broncos in the first half and my frustration with some of the details of the Broncos. So I don't like to ever send those tweets out and not be able to follow up oftentimes with what I'm talking about and the details that I'm talking about. So wanted to make sure that I put a few of these plays. I think I got 11 plays that came from the first half of this game that, just a lot of things that I'm just going, okay, why? Why do you do it exactly like this? Why this particular detail? How does that help? Or maybe more importantly, do you not know how that can hinder a quarterback's thought process or the kind of throws that he has to make? Some things at the quarterback position. So again, I just wanted to break down a few of the plays that I saw early in this game and some of the same issues that I continue to see with this Denver Broncos offense. All right, here we go. Okay, so early play of the game. So they've got this play, which is a go and a go. And then they're going to swing the back over to this side. We're going to run another seam down here. And then we're going to run an under back to this side. Okay, so a couple things here. So once we see too high rotation, so they're going to too high. All right. What I'm looking for is this guy right here, the Mike linebacker. Mike linebacker turns over here to Jerry Jeudy, turns to the field. Okay, great. Now I've got an opportunity, if I want it, to go 2-on-1 off of this safety. Okay, so I go 2-on-1 off of this safety. If this safety stays tucked inside and I want to go outside and this corner carries with him, then I can just kick it to my swing right here. So I just want you to watch this portion of it first. So you see it. I get the Mike linebacker to turn there. Okay. I get this here, this safety tucked inside. Maybe got a shot right here. Again, if I feel this guy's gotten soft enough, which he's gotten pretty soft right here, just kick it right there and we got ourselves a play. So as we play this out, you see possible shot right here. I know the ball's coming out anyways. Everybody's looking at it, but you see the possible 2-on-1 back to that side to the swing. All right. Now I want to go to the details of this other side. So I mentioned this in a tweet a couple weeks ago, is that I can't stand it when receivers are running slants or unders, inside breaking routes, short inside breaking routes, and they start by outside releasing, what we call a speed release. Okay, so we speed release outside, expecting this guy to turn and take off because he thinks we're running a go route, and then we're able to slap him by and come back underneath him. Okay, yes, it does work sometimes. But I think more times than not, it doesn't work against good corners that aren't afraid of you running by them most of the time. So they're going to sit, they're going to stay in your back pocket, and they're going to contest the go throw. So you're going to see right here, Courtland Sutton, he tries to outside release. Tries to go outside the guy. What's the corner do? He squats, because the other thing here is he knows he's got help over the top. He's not even worried about it because he's not in man-to-man coverage. So we try to push outside. He squats on us. This is where Russell's trying to go with the football, which again, I'm fine with because there's nobody really in this window. I'm fine with him making this decision to throw it. But look at Courtland Sutton. He's getting banged by the defender. The defender is inside of him. We've got no chance to complete this ball, and it's almost intercepted. Okay? And again, I don't know why. Why do we continue to speed release? You've got space. Just seam inside of him. Seam inside, lean on him, then separate. Okay, worst case scenario, receiver is between defender and ball, and I protect it, and we've got a chance to complete it. He's got to come through me to get to knock the football down, and I'm winning for my quarterback. My quarterback is coming to me, and he expects me to be inside that defender. Instead, we're losing leverage. We're not able to get back inside, and my quarterback's got no chance going to that side when it should be an easy completion. Details. Details are everything. Details across the board. Okay. Here's a tough one here. So we're going to run a play that I call 72. Okay. Not a fan of this play whatsoever. It is only good against man, in my opinion, even though everybody around the league runs it against zone. And I don't understand it because we have to expect the defense to screw it up to get it against zone. But nonetheless, we're going to do it. And then we're going to run this particular concept over here, okay, what I call under. So it's an in and an under over the top. Okay, again, this is only a play, in my opinion, that is good against too high. So we've basically, we've got a situation here where we've got a play on the bottom that's only good against man coverage and a play on the top that's only good against a too high shell. You're going to notice on this play, we get neither of those. We get a 3 high defense. Okay, so why don't I like this over here? Well, because I've got a corner that's going to be sitting there for the 7 route, and I've got 2 underneath defenders sitting here for this under. So I have no advantage here whatsoever with where these routes are going, right? No advantage. That's why, to me, it's only good against man. When everybody's chasing man, now we have 2 runaways. I can live with it. Against zone, I don't like it because in most situations, you're going to have guys in these particular zones that can take it away. All right, go over to this side. Okay, this side, we're in a bind as well because what? They've got one guy sitting in the inside zone and another guy that should be taking the outside zone. So we're gaining no advantage over to either one of these sides against this sort of defense. So I always talk about giving quarterbacks answers. Giving quarterbacks answers. What's my answer against cover 3 zone on this particular play? You have no answer. You have to hope the defense screws it up, and that gives you an answer. So they do kind of screw it up, that this guy here chases, instead of just passing him off to this guy, he chases. So now there's a possible throw right there. But as a quarterback, how do I know that? How do I know where to read this particular play when neither side is really good against this coverage, right? He drops there, he drops there, he drops there, he drops there. Everything's being taken care of. Maybe you throw it to your back and you're forced to throw it to your back. But when you're caught in this situation as a quarterback, you're left just guessing. Okay, which side should I choose? Maybe I'll get this guy to carry the 7 and I'll hit this under right before him. Yeah, but now we're making stuff up. Now we're trying to force things because there is no quality design on this play to attack this particular coverage. To me, it's why a good play design is one that has answers against every coverage. And they may not be great answers, but at least you can see as a quarterback what the possibilities are on a particular play. So Russell, right, you're going to get sacked here. And yeah, it's quick pressure, and we can talk about a lot of stuff up front because I agree, right? I don't know if he's completing any of these passes anyways because the pressure's coming so quick. But bottom line is there's no answer anyways. There's nowhere for him to go unless it's dumping it to his check down here against a cover 3 coverage, which to me is something we always have to have an answer for because everybody's got it in their playbook. All right, so here we go. Everybody remembers this interception in the game. So we've got basically all go again. Okay, we're running goes there. We're running goes over to this side. Okay, so we got goes everywhere. Backs checking down over the ball. Okay, so what we're looking at when we get this particular coverage, once again, is we're going to read, really just pick a side, but we might read this Mike backer if we think it's Tampa 2. So if he opens this way, now once again, I could be going to my 2-on-1 off of this guy, or if we don't believe it's Tampa 2, now we could read our 2-on-1 on this guy here. So either way actually works. So you look up at the top first. So if I'm looking up at the top, you see it. Here's going to be our 2-on-1, probably a good shot to hit that hole shot on the outside. Okay, we're looking down at the bottom, which he is right here. Okay, now we look at this safety and we read it accordingly. But here's the details that I want to talk about. I want you to watch this tight end right here. This tight end right here runs straight to the middle of the field. Runs straight to the middle of the field. So, again, I'll let you guys see it. See, he's running straight to the middle of the field there. Okay? He's on an angle, runs straight to the middle of the field. When he does that, okay, this guy is not threatened by him at all. So this guy is going to widen and hold his position. What does that do? That means if I want to try to throw this ball right here, I've got to set a perfect ball up and over the corner, but with enough velocity to beat the safety, and it becomes a really, really tough throw. Okay, so Kurt, what would you do different? What I would do different is I would get whatever release I have to get, and then I would attack the safety. Attack the safety. Okay, attack the safety. You try to get him to turn and pull with you, which gives me now the ability as a quarterback to have more margin of error for my throw down the field. The other thing that it does is that if this guy wants to widen, now it's giving me a better throwing lane because I've got distance from this guy, and this guy now has to chase me to get in the relationship that we want. If I'm going to simply just run inside, I'm running right to this guy. He's running right on my back, and I get no separation for my quarterback, right? See it right there? See it? Nothing. Nothing. I go here, widen, widen, okay? Widen right here. Then I can set my angle, and it's going to give my quarterback a better throwing angle here. It's going to have better influence on the safety right there than we have by just running straight inside. So again, that safety feels it, okay? You see the throw. This guy right here, we're trying to throw it perfectly up and over the top because we're a little bit worried about this guy here. And again, not a great throw. Leaves it underneath. But all those elements make it harder on a quarterback, and this leads to a big interception in the game. Okay? Right? Not all bad. Like this one here. Okay, we're running this. Going to run a big in, and then we're going to sneak the back out here. So we're going to get a high-low with my back and my in route right here. Okay, so I like the play design. I like what we're trying to do here. Okay, on the back side, we're going to run a corner, and then wherever that is, going to the flat. So if I get cover 2, I can read the high-low backside if I want it. But we're all good out the front side. Nice job. This defender that we're high-lowing drops underneath the end. Boom. Drop it right there. It's 3rd and long, and I'm always going to tell you quarterbacks, play the play. Okay, this is the play that they gave you. Play the play. Don't try to jam it in here just so you can get the first down. This is your read. Play the play. Play says, drop it to my check down. I drop it to my check down, even if we're not going to get the first down. Good decision right there. Good play design. We pick up a nice gain, even though we don't get all the way back for the first down. Okay, so I didn't want to just be all negative, although I didn't like a lot of the details on some of this stuff. Hey, that was a good play, good execution, good stuff. Okay, so here we go, a little play action. We're going to run either this is a read or a deep hook. So when I say read, sometimes if the safety comes down, okay, we just read this and we take it over the top and run a post. If that safety stays high, then we just hook it right there and read it. And then off of that, we got a guy going to the flat, and then we've got a check down coming underneath it. Okay, so the biggest thing as we're doing this, as we're stepping up, is I want you to feel it. I want you to give this a chance. So you see how quickly Russell's already throwing this football right now. He's already throwing it right now. Okay, but I think there's a great window right here to hit the chunk throw right here. Step up, time your feet to the throw, and give the throw a chance. Give the chunk throw a chance right there. Okay, right there. We've got a window to make that throw. Instead, we're checking it down. Hey, you check that window. This guy gets a little more depth. I'm cool. Go ahead and check it down, but give it a chance. Give some of these throws an opportunity. I think this ball gets tipped on top of it. Let's look at it from the end zone copy. Play fake. Okay, you see it. Okay, this guy goes there. Look at this guy. Turned his back. He's there. Can barely see it, but this is where we're going to have our deep hook on this particular play. There's the window, okay? Because again, hard to see, but there's the feet. See the feet? See the window? There's an opportunity for a throw. Pocket, it's pretty good. He had to slide to the inside, yes, but pocket's still good enough. We got to be able to hold in there, let this stuff transpire, and make that big throw. Okay. All right, so this is going to be a great play here. We're going to run a slant flat over to this side. On the other side, we're going to run a hook, and a flat. Okay? So, all I'm looking at here, and again, watch, great throw, great catch. Make this work, we get a big play. Okay? But here's what I would like to see Russell Wilson do, is see the rotation. So the rotation is coming down this direction. So my problem on this particular play with the slant and the flat here is that when they rotate down there, you'll notice they've got two defenders. 1, 2 playing this side. So very easy for the safety to come down and the safety to jump the flat, and easy for this linebacker to sit in that window for the slant. Now, watch the inside linebacker. Okay, for some reason, he doesn't realize this guy's coming down and he chases the flat too, and this gives us the window back behind it. But he plays this right, and we really shouldn't have that window. So when I see that, this is what I call a balanced cover 3. So what's happening here is the Jags are going to have 1, 2 defenders down underneath to this side, and 1, 2 defenders down to that side. So it's balanced. It's even. So what do I look at when we get an even cover 3? First thing I look at is what hash are we on? Okay, we're on this backside hash. That means this is the short side. That means I have less space on this side to throw the football. So let's just say I had slant flat to the top and slant flat to the bottom. So it was a mirrored concept. I'm going up to the top because I know I have more space because I'm on the backside hash than I do down on the bottom. That's the first thing. Okay. Second thing is I've got 3 receivers. 1, 2, 3 receivers that are all running shorter routes to the top. Okay. So now not only am I the short side on the bottom, but I'm outmanned because they basically have 1, 2 underneath defenders to my 2 routes down there. On the top, I've got 3 routes and they've got 2 defenders. My numbers say go to the top. Go to the top. They can't stop me to the top because I have space and I have numbers. So this guy sits in here on this one. Now this guy's in a bind. Boom, boom. Easy read, easy completion. We're golden. You see it. See the window, see the space, see the numbers. We've got every advantage up top, even though we hit it on the bottom. Even though we're clapping and we're excited on the bottom, we got to understand that we're only there because this guy screwed it up, basically. That guy went running out of there instead of holding his zone. He holds his zone. We're in trouble going to that side because we had a disadvantage from the get-go by spacing and by numbers. Okay, nice shot. Nice shot right here. Nice shot hitting it in there. But again, to me, about numbers. Okay, it's about numbers. And again, I don't know how they choose to read this. A lot of teams will run this as being a straight progression read, which I don't think you can progress to it when this guy's got a quick out. So normally, if I was reading it up top, I'm going to read this first. So I'm taking that one. If this guy goes hard outside, then I'm reading this guy, and we'll go 1 back into 2 right here. So I would read it outside in instead of trying to jam it into the inside. Okay, if we're progressing across, then we're going to read to this side first, and then we'll work 3, 4, and again, this is dead, so I can't imagine it being a pure progression with that quick out over there, but nonetheless. Okay, but here's what I want to look at detail-wise. So we've been talking a lot about details. Okay, so this play right here is a hook or a stick in a flat. Okay, so what I know if I'm reading to this side is that I'm going to read the flat defender. As a quarterback, I'm going to read the flat defender. Most defenses we're going to see to this may have a second defender to that side. So the key on this particular play is to stay away from that defender, is to put all the pressure on this circled defender and force him to cover width. I'm going to force him to cover width and depth. Okay, so I just want you to watch. I'm trying to see, I think that's Cortland Sutton right here. Okay, I just want you to watch his route here. Watch him. What's he do? Okay, he angles in here. Okay, he angles in here. Okay, and so my question would be, why are we angling in there? Okay, because if I angle in there, what am I doing? I'm cutting down the space to the biggest problem I have on this play. If I'm running in there, I'm running right to this defender. Okay, and I'll let this guy run past me to cover the flat, and now we're hurting ourselves with the details of this concept. Okay, Kurt, what would you do? What would I do? If I was running this, I am running this guy straight ahead. I'm running him straight ahead, and I'm going to let him keep his width, and then I'm going to run the flat. So as soon as this guy wants to take off and run to the flat, I'm banging this right behind him because this guy now has to chase to cover this. He's got to move to cover this. I go in here. He doesn't have to move to cover this, okay? Another way that you could run it, okay? I got no problem. Okay, you're trying to go and set a rub on this guy and hopefully get in his face to pop open the flat. Okay, no problem with that. But if we're going to seam inside or angle inside, here's what I would do. I'm going to angle inside to try to get that rub. And then instead of continuing on that angle, okay, which allows me to go right into that defender, I'm going to now push vertical. Okay, so I get this defender to see me. Oh, now he thinks I'm going vertical. He starts to move that direction. And then I'm going to turn outside or break outside. So worst case scenario, if this inside linebacker meshes to me, so he starts to come to me, worst case scenario is he is inside and we're throwing it outside because the receiver turned out there and we're protecting the football. Okay, watch Cortland Sutton right here. And again, he ends up spinning on the turn. But you see, we moved right to this guy. He went right there. We put ourselves in a bit of a bind by the release pattern right here instead of holding the width of this particular play. Now, great job by Russell to bang this in here and hit it between these two guys, but don't like the spacing on this particular play or the actual read concept because I don't know why Russell went straight to the inside. I don't know what he saw. Looks like he peeks to the right real quick and then jams it in there. If he's reading up top, I'd like him to take that one first because that's a gimme. This defender's hips are turned inside. This guy's 12 yards off. Take the gimme to the outside instead of forcing the ball to the inside. But we get a completion, make it work. All right, details. Talk about details. So we're going to run a wide receiver screen right here. And this receiver is just going to turn around and catch it. So just watch what he does. Turns around, he's just going to catch it right there. Okay? Catches it right there. All right, details. Okay, notice we've got offensive linemen that are coming out here. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to know because when offensive linemen are coming out to block, every screen is designed, if we've got offensive linemen, to, once we catch it, get back inside those guys. Okay, let them be the wall for us as they're walling out. We're not going to run outside of them. They're our blockers. We're going to let them set up, and we're going to run back inside of them and let them clear it out. It's what we call a tunnel screen. They're creating the tunnel, and we're running down the tunnel in the middle of the field. Okay? So that's the first thing. The other thing is we need to understand that we're trying to help these guys as they're coming out here. We're trying to help set up their blocks. So for me to help set up their blocks, because I want you to watch this one wide receiver here that's blocking, okay? Watch. He goes to set and block outside, okay? But because this guy stays right here, his defender squirts back underneath him and makes the tackle. Watch. Boom. Miss him. He's making the tackle, okay? So that to me is a problem. What would I want the receiver to do? What I would want the receiver to do is start with width. Start with width, okay? Because when I start with width, the defenders start with width. If you're gonna throw it to me, they see that. Okay, what's it do? It gets this defender to go outside. So this receiver, as he goes here, conceal him from inside out. So I help my blockers by doing that. Okay, so I'm going outside, and then I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna wrap back inside to catch it. Okay, so the position by which I catch this football is exactly the same. But that move helps set up the guys on the outside to think I'm running a route, to think I'm going wide, and it sets them up, okay? And then as these guys come out, it brings me to catch it and naturally go back inside of them, wrap back inside of them, and have a chance for a big play. But by being stationary right here, stationary, I didn't set this guy up for the block, I didn't make the defense move, and now I'm a sit and duck back here to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage instead of being able to set that up. And again, set it up, catch it right here. You're moving and you're wrapping right behind those guys instead of putting yourself in harm's way. Okay, again, some good things. Some good things. Coming down here, clear this out. Jerry Jeudy sticks, does a nice job of running back here to the corner. Going to chip and run the flood back to that side. Like this one. Stick, does a nice job dipping through against that man-to-man coverage. There he is, creating the separation. Boom. Good job by Russell. Seeing it, getting the ball out. Stay patient in the pocket. Stay patient in the pocket. Stay patient in the pocket. Right? You see him getting uncomfortable, moving his hips and his feet to the sideline. Get back, get set. A big part of this is don't get set too quick. Okay? So he's set and he's not ready to throw. So when you get set and you're not ready to throw, you get antsy in the pocket. Like, oh my gosh, I'm set. There's nowhere to throw, nowhere to throw, nowhere to throw. Time your drop up. Time your drop up. See what's going on. Time your drop up so I can one hitch and throw this. And it leads us to be less panicky in the pocket and less movement in the pocket. But nice job getting back to it, turning his hips and making a big play. Okay, so again, just seeing the big picture. So we're in the 2-minute drive, and we're just going to run mirrored routes on both sides. Okay, so we've got an out in a corner and an out in a corner. Okay, we're seeing them. They're getting ready to drop down. They're going to drop to one high. So this isn't a great play against one high because these corners are going to sit outside the corner routes. And as you'll see, there's usually a defender in the hole on both sides to each side. So it's not a great play. It's designed for cover 2, not a great play against one high. But if I'm going to get it against one high, look at the big picture. What does that mean? Corner, corner, even on both sides. But now look, drop defender, drop defender, drop defender. This guy now is the guy that's got to cover the flat over here, right? That's the guy that's got to cover the flat over here. So if I'm choosing a side, both sides are against cover 3, right? Both sides technically are against the same coverage. But I have to see the big picture. And the big picture tells me this guy's dropping down late, giving me this throw. This guy's already in position, not giving me that throw. Because that's really the only throw that I think I'm going to have on this particular play. So see the big picture. There it is, right? You see it. This one's tough because this guy's jumping him. This one's a steal. This one's a steal. And I don't expect to get either of the deeper ones because I expect these guys to be sitting outside. So I'm thinking on the snap, cover 3, I'm taking one of the outs. He's looking left, should be looking right based on the numbers here. Got to be able to see the big picture and know where you have an advantage and where you don't. Okay, again, 2-minute drive right here. We're going to run a go. We're going to run a go, and we're going to run an out. Okay, so not necessarily great. I think he's running it in on the backside, and then we're going to run down here. Okay, so as I come back here, okay, in a 2-minute drill, we see that we got cover 2 right here. What I'm really thinking to myself is I don't think I'm going to have one of the deeper ones, but I don't care if you go ahead and peek that corner. Okay, that corner gets soft. Okay, so once that corner gets soft, my eyes are on this guy right here. Okay, so if this guy comes off on my out, I got to work myself back to this in or get to my check down. Okay, once that corner is off and bailing, if this guy carries it all, that's got to be my throw right now. And I say that because Russell is looking left. I could very easily say forget all of that. I don't like it to that front side, and I'm going to come right back to my high-low. I can live with that because his eyes are left. We got to talk about it left, okay? So I'm coming out, see a soft corner out there. This guy is soft. There's your throw. You're trying to get out of bounds anyways. You're trying to stop the clock. That's the throw on this particular play. Got to let it go. Got to let it go right there. See it? He breaks right there. Let it go. Let it go. Pressure's coming. I get it. That's why you got to see it, and you got to anticipate it. This guy's hips are turned to the inside. Let this go to the outside. If we miss, we miss, but nobody else is going to get it. If we hit it, we get exactly what we want. We catch it, and we're going out of bounds. All right, so there's a look at why I had the frustration. A lot of different things going on with that offense. A lot of things that, man, they can be cleaned up. They're little details. It's not like all the plays are terrible and they don't have answers and we're not really sure. There's some good stuff in there. There's some things that are open as you see all over the place, but we have to have a better understanding of the details. To me, the details make the job of the quarterback way easier. Little details and little movement of defenders make throws easier. They increase the margin of error, okay? Russell has to do a better job of understanding where I gain advantages within this offense. Might not be stuff that you've done in the past, but we've got to come to an understanding of where numbers play in our favor, where spacing plays in our favor. The receivers have to understand what, their technique and winning quickly and winning to leverage, what that does for a quarterback. Coaches, right? We got to make sure that we give our quarterback answers against all the things that we could possibly see, the best that we possibly can, so he's not stuck back there in the pocket when they have some limited protection. As we know, we didn't talk a lot about the protection. We know that they've had issues up front. That's why it's so important to get the ball out, to see things, get the ball out, call plays that have answers for your quarterback. So we got to do a better job of giving him answers in certain situations. So again, this is why you see the frustration. It is not just one thing. It's here, it's there, it's all over, it's this issue, it's that issue, and now it leads to really, really bad offensive football when there are opportunities there. There's opportunities for them to be successful if they start to put everything together, they all get on the same page, that this thing can turn around, because they're still in it, right? A lot of ups and downs in the NFL season. They're still in it if they can turn it around quickly, but it has been ugly, and this is just an example. These are 11, 12 plays from just the first half the other day, and that's what? Week 8, game 8? Got to start cleaning some of this up and getting better across the board if they want any chance to salvage the season.